Mr. Irontrader, it is Sunday night. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock, not ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly chart. Now you can see here how we were having a nice, good uptrending situation. Now today here we look at we just bounced that to a good lower low situation. So what we're looking for here for support, we're looking at 88,405. That's going to be next level. That's going to be very, very key. Okay. Now if we lose that, we come down to the bottom of this candle at 86,500 level. We can venture down to here at 86,135, and then we have 85,200, and we come down to the bottom here at 84,120. Then you have your big retest down here at 87,50 level. Okay. Now here, when you look at the weekly chart, you really want to hold by Friday. We want to hold that 85,349. We want to make sure that we close above that. You can see here 1, 2, 3, and last week 4 weeks so far we've been holding that 100-day. Now if we lose that, you're going to come out to that 8750 level, which is by basically right there. Now we start losing that level there, then you're going to come right down to the bottom here, 78,675. We'll come down there at 76,735, and then here's your big retest down here at 74,635. And you really need to hold that situation. If you don't, then we can come right down here. You're looking at a 72,660 level. We come up there at 78,25 level. Then we just start following these candles down all the way to 67 until we get all the way down to the 56. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go. What I like to show is always show you what a possibility. If we lose that 100-day and we lose this key price channel and that price channel, there's a good possibility you can hit for that 200 SMA here. Now, again, don't get yourself too excited. Again, I'm a trader in both directions. So I trade BITX for the long, and I trade BITI on the short sides. Okay, so you can make money in both directions. So don't have no opinion. Eventually, Bitcoin's going to bottom. It's going to have a nice rally up. But in the meantime, it's a nice two-way trade. Okay, now you can see where that 8-day crossed over that 21-day is looking pretty good. But now look how it curled right back over again. So that's really not a good look right there at all. So what we're looking for here on the upside is watch Friday's low, 89,640, but this is going to be the key level right here, this 90,667 level, and then we'll come right up to there, that 93,360 level, okay? So if we can get back above that, then we go to Friday's high, 93,770 level, we'll come up here at 93,850 level, and then we have that 94,800 level. Then we can just start venturing all the way up here, 96,145, look to the bottom of that candle, 97,905, and then we'll come down to 99,250 level, then we'll come to the top of there, 104.95, but really what you're looking for is right here is going to be that 50-day. Now you can see how the 100 days rolling over, 50 days rolling over, the 21 days rolling over. The only thing that was positive was the 8-day, and now looks like that's rolling over. So this does not really look anything that great right now. But again, it's early. The market's been opened up, I don't know, what, 2 minutes? Okay, so just watch this level here. It can be very key, 88,405. Now we come down to this level at that 86,500, and then we come all the way down to that 84,120, and then your big retest. But the key by Friday is you want to hold that 100-day on a closing basis. If not, we could retest that 80, 50, and then we'd have to see what the reaction is once you get there. Does it blast through and start heading down to these levels here, or does it bounce off of that and have a good trade rate back up again? Okay, now you're looking at 40. That's not overbought or oversold. The green is still over your red. So let's just give this time to shake out kind of situation. But I do not like this 8-day. I had a nice crossover, and now it's rolling over. Not good. Okay, now weekly. 38, that's not overbought or oversold. And you can see the green is still to the bottom, and your little bit of red bars are not moving up like they are here, where you can get that crossover. And then we have this. So far, this is just not very good. Okay. Now, on a weekly here, you can see an 8-day cross the 21-day, cross the 50-day. Now it's heading down, and you can see what a strong resistance that is going to be. Even if we have a rally up here, that 94,255 is going to be very, very strong. So we want to watch that on a weekly basis, and we want to watch that P100 day. But again, don't be afraid to short this with BITI. It's a really, really a very good ETF to do the short ski. Okay, let's take a look here now at Ethereum. Here we have Ethereum, daily and your weekly chart. Okay, now. Here's what we have going. Let's just see. Bigger up nice. Okay, so this chart was looking pretty good, but look how this 8-day now is starting to roll again. Okay, so we had this topping tail right there. Next day, we put in a lower low. That's never good. And then we came all the way down, but we've held that 21-day. Now, what we're doing is we're fighting this. Okay, so on the downside, watch that 21-day, 3,061. Watch Friday's low at 3,052. Okay, we lose that. We're right there at 3,032. Then we have 2,000. 2993 level, and then we can just venture right on down. 2889 level will come down here, 2764 level will come down to the bottom, 2728, and then 2627. That is your big retest. If you lose that, just look at the weekly chart right there, 2461. That's going to be your really big target. Okay, now here on the upside, got to get back above that 200-day. Okay, 3104. Next to the line is going to be that 8-day at 3174. Then we just take all of the targets right on up here, 3275. Come on top of that candle, 3361. We'll come up there at 3461. Where what you're really looking for is that 3528. Now you can see the 50-day cross right over here, the 21's on day on a down, but this is actually looking a little bit better than what the Bitcoin is. But again, be patient with this if you're trading the old Ethereum. Now, I don't trade this. I trade the Bitcoin, both directions. Again, just remember, you can't trade everything. Okay, so always remember that. Now, 44, that's not overbought, oversold. The green is still over your red. You're still uptrending here until we start losing that 21-day and we start losing the bottom of that candle there. That's going to be very, very key at 29.93. Now, here we are. We're stuck right here. Okay, 3,086 level and 3,076. You're sitting right there at this level right now. Now, again, on the upside, we have that 8-day, which is very, very strong. So you can see where it popped right on up here, could not hold it, and that's going to be very strong resistance to go on the upside kind of situation. Now, this is not overbought or oversold. The green is still going up below your red. The bars are trying to move up, but really nothing great. We'd have like a consolidation. But again, when you look at this, same way you look at Bitcoin, you see this downtrending and then an uptrending out of it. This could be a nice, huge bull flag situation. I mean, bear flag situation. I'm sorry about that. Bear flag situation, just like we have on Bitcoin. So don't get too excited here about this ripping all the way up higher because it's going to need a catalyst kind of a thing. So just remember, on the upside, we got to get above that 200-day. That's going to be key. Got to get above that 8-day before we can start retesting, and then we hit that 50-day. All right, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold, here we have silver. Okay, now for me, I only trade both of these on the long side. GLD for the long, SLV for long. Okay, so Friday we put this topping tail situation in. I went all out of the trade because what we hit 43.87. We're looking here for 43.98. Obviously, you can't get above it. So now what I'm looking for on the upside here is that 43.87 again, and that 43.98. Once we close above this 43.98, I might be a little bit late to the party, but that's what I'm looking for. Once we get above that 43.98, then you're going to be 44, and I think you can take that to 4,500 very, very easily. Okay, now you can see how the chart is good uptrending. Okay, let me bigger up a little bit there. See, you can see a nice, good uptrending situation. Okay, very, very good. We've had this cup. We have this handle kind of extended out a little bit here, consolidation. But you can see here that we want to watch, be very, very careful of this candle. 43.87. You got to get back above it. Once we do, there's your target. You crack above that, you're going to head right towards that 4,500 mark. Now, here on the downside, okay, you want to watch Friday's low, 42.86. But this is going to be the key right here. It's going to be that 42.69. There's your 8-day, your 21-day, 41.93, your 50-day. Then we can start venturing off down to these candles here. You're looking at 40.36 level. We come down here. You're looking at 39.97 level, and we come all the way down to 39.01. But right now, the price is above all the simple moving average. 200-day, 100-day, 50-day, 21-day, 8-day, looking very, very bullish to go higher. So what we're doing is we're going to be trading against Friday's candle, okay? 43.87 on the high side, 42.86 on the downside. If it comes down to this 8-day and holds it, this could also be a very good buying opportunity here to take it back long. We crack above Friday's high or above this, that could buy on strength, okay? So that's a two-way trade. Now, 69, this is not, this was the overbought area. You've got plenty of room to run. The green is over your red. This is looking very, very good. So I'll be looking for a trade in the GLD. Okay. Now, silver looking even better. Silver was a really good trade. Friday, I was out of the situation here. I took no trade on Friday. I was out of the situation right here because what we did is we hit that high of 64.72. Friday, we hit that 65.08, but you notice that it couldn't hold the 65 level. So realistically, what we're really looking for is that 65, okay? A close above the 65, not this pop and drop nonsense, a close above 65. Even on this candle here, when you look at the close, you close at 63.97, okay? Right here, Friday, you closed at 62.08, okay? So everything you need to know is sitting right up here, okay? So right there, for me, I got to close above that 65, then I'll jump in the SLV. Now, that's one direction. Now, the other thing is, if we can hold this 60.80, this 8-day, then I could maybe, if we can hold that, I could also jump in the SLV because now we got support level and then you can take it on up. Okay, so you can buy at support or you can also buy on strength to go up higher. Now, I did a video here over the weekend, weekend edition, and it shows you a lot of there on where to put the stop losses in and really where to buy and where things. So one way to buy it is you can buy at support, but you can also, okay, buy on strength. Okay, so if we close above that key 65 level, that could be a good strength to say, hey, I'm going to jump into that because next level is going to go 66, 67, and you can take this bad boy all the way to 70 here with absolutely no problem. Okay, now you are right here to a little overbought kind of a situation. However, it's also shown as very, very strong. Just look in the past, it can hold on for a while before it does fall off. You know, the map kind of a situation there. Okay, what am I doing? All right, we're back in the game. Okay, but the green is still over your red, so but just be a little bit careful here. Watch that 8-day. That's going to be very, very critical on the downside. If you start losing that, then we can start going to the bottom of these candles, 57.99 level. You have 56.85, and you'll come down to 56.12 level. Okay, but right now, the same thing as with gold. The price is above all your simple moving averages. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. All right, here we have crude oil. You can see it's hanging out. But you see how this downtrending situation, all you have to do is punch in that 50-day. You can see how she's downtrending whole situation there, okay? Let me see if I can make that even bigger there for you. Okay, there you go. Now you're talking. Okay, see this? You're just downtrending. Look like an opportunity there, but look at the next day, okay? Once you put that lower low in and you crack that candle right there, that tells me you got to go short ski, okay? So right now we have an inside day, okay? Your high and low is the inside of the previous day. So you want to watch Friday's low, 57.15. We want to watch this 57.01. That's going to be very, very critical. If we lose that, then right here's our next target. It's going to be 56.35. And then we have 56.15, and then there's the big boy right there at 55.96 level. Okay, so that's what you're looking for on the downside. Now here on the upside, what were we looking for? Is Friday's high. Okay, 58.19, and then we're going to start looking here right for that 8-day at 58.63, that 21-day at 58.89, and then we have 59.46. Those are your three really big resistant levels. We get above that, then we come up top of that candle right there, 58.81 level. We come up there at 60.30, and then we come up there at that 60.50 level, and then we come up to that 60.85, and then obviously you have your 100-day and your 200-day. But right now you can see how we have a downtrending situation going. So let's just see how if everything can hold. If it doesn't hold that key 57.01, then here's going to be your target right there at that 55.96 level. Okay, now again, if we start losing that level, then right here's your target at 55.12. Okay, now right here we got 41. That's an overbought, oversold. We got this sideways action here, but remember we have a downtrending situation. You're going to need some kind of a catalyst that can't get up to that 8-day, 21-day, and that 50-day to crack that to go to the next level. But for me right now, this is a trader's market. Long, short, long, short, long, short. That's what this is here. This is not a buy and hold to go short, buy and hold to go long. Unless we start losing these levels here, then it's full balls out short. Okay. All right, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, now natural gas here, I only trade this, okay, because they don't call this the old widowmaker for nothing. I don't think the wife will like it, you know. So I only trade this, okay. It's not really what you call like a buy and hold situation, okay. Now you can see here where we fell right off the map, but you notice that where it came down right down to that 50-day, okay, and held it very nice. So far we have it at inside day. So on the downside, just watch that 50-day, that 407. That's going to be very, very critical. If we lose that, then we come right to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 401, okay. Then we look to the top of that candle, looking at that 386 level. We'll come down there at that 378, and then we're looking for this gap. Okay, see this 375. There's your gap. Top of that candle, 343. There's your fill, your gap, and your fill. Okay, but you also have that 200-day, and we also have that 100-day. So you have a lot of resistance. Now, just because if we lose that 50-day, comes out to the gap, doesn't mean it has to go to the fill. A lot of times it'll hit that gap and then rally right back up, or it might hit the 200-day and the 100-day. It might not even do that fill. But again, if we start losing that, then you always want to watch that 3.43 for the fill. Now, on the upside here, what we're watching is the bottom of that candle, 419. We'll look to Friday's high. You're looking at 425 low. Okay, now we start getting above that. We'll go right to the bottom there. You're looking at 435. We got 444 level. We just kind of take the candles right back up here again. 464. We'll come down here at 452 level. And then we hit right here. Okay. You have your 21 day at that 462 and you have that 8 day at 462. Now, this is the key right here. See how that 8 day is going to cross over. So as this would rally up, this is going to be very, very strong resistance, because now if that 8 day crosses, if they're both sitting at the same price, once that crosses, that's going to be very, very strong resistance, okay? Because now your price is below that 8 day like we had here, okay? Now you're fighting it the whole way, okay? Until you get back above it, then you can follow, you can fly. Same way here, you can fly, but when you get back below it, now you're fighting it. However, this could be a very, very good trade. So what I'm watching is Friday's high, okay? 425. If we can start getting above that, then I'll jump into UNG, and the odds of going back up to that 21 day are very, very good. Okay, so again, on the downside, I'm watching that 50 day. We lose that 50 day, we could come right down to that gap, that 200 day, the 100 day, and we can come down to that fill very easily. Now, we got to an overbought position here. Now look where we are here. Now we're not overbought or oversold. The green is still below your red because obviously we just had the momentum to the downside. So again, watch Friday's candle, that high, 425 on the high, 406 on the low. That's what you're trading against. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning and we'll do it all over again. Remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.